Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well today. Hope you guys are keeping safe out there. And today, guys, we'll be talking about the Conjuring franchise. I thought I'll do something a bit different because I always do I mainly do about Spider-Man No Way Home. So I thought I'll do something different, which I'm going to do keep talk about some other stuff, not just like Spider-Man. It gets bored. It'll start to get boring, all the time if I talk about it with you guys. So, guys, as always, I'll read out the news for you. Do like and subscribe to my channel for more updates in the future. So, guys, it says here 7 real Ed and Lorraine Warren paranormal investigations that inspired the Conjuring franchise. It says taking a retrospective look at 7 real-life investigations by Ed and Lauren Warren, who inspired the Conjuring franchise. So, guys, there's like a wee image here. So, I'm guessing that on the left is the real people, investigators, and on the right, yeah, on the right side they're just actors of the Paranormal franchise. And yeah, I'm just gonna read on, guys. It says Ed and Lorraine Warren, two of the most renowned paranormal investigators in American history. While they are now known to a larger audience due to their characterizations in the phenomenally successful franchise that spun off from the Conjuring films, the Connecticut natives accused an almost four decades history of investigations into the paranormal, long before the current slew of reality-based ghost hunting television shows. So, without further hesitation, let us take a look at 7 of the more notorious. I can't pronounce that. There's some words I can't pronounce. I think that's called notorious. Yeah, some I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Investigations conducted by Ed and Lorraine Warren. So it says here the Smurl hunting. So I think these are individual like stories, step by step, how it all started. So read out and find out, guys. The Smurl hunting is named Fuzz for Jack and Janet Smurl. They claimed that a demon was haunting their home in West Pittston, Pennsylvania between the years of 1974 and 1989. The demon was alleged to have thrown the family dog into a wall and pushed their daughter down the stairs. The Warrens arrived at the Smurl household in 1986 to conduct their own investigation. Ed Warren described the demonic presence as very powerful and claimed that the entity was able to shake mirrors and move furniture. Warren claimed to have recorded audio footage of knocking and rapping sounds caused by the demon. Then the next story is here, the Enfield Er Portuguese. This well-known case formed the subject matter for The Conjuring 2. This case saw the Warrens flying overseas to London, England in order to investigate alleged poltergeist activity in the North London borough of Enfield. Peggy Hodgson, a single parent, had entirely called the police after 2 of her 4 children had reported knocking sounds on the walls. Peggy herself claimed to have witnessed furniture moving around with no explanation. This was apparently also corroborated by a police officer visiting the house. Ed and Lorraine Warren were convinced that the events were of supernatural origin and appeared to be predominantly focused around 2 of Peggy Hudson's teenage daughters, with the girls seeming at times to apparently levitate off the ground. It should be noted, however, that the 2 daughters, Margaret and Janet Hudson, later admitted to pranking investigators. This haunting also formed the plot for a Sky television series screened in 2015, the 3-part miniseries, The Enfield Haunting. And the next story, guys, is The Conjuring House. Before we do any more, I do want to stay out there. I do like horror stuff. I like horror movies, horror books. So I actually love them. It's actually scary. Sometimes it could be a wee bit funny because some horror movies they do have like wee lines, like a comedy lines you can get in the movies, especially the horror movies. So I do like that as well. I like all the cool stuff, guys. Comment down below which horror movie do you like and what's your best movie you ever seen. And now we're going to read out the Conjuring House. The house in question, located in Harrisville, Rhode Island, is said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman alleged to be a witch. The commonly accepted story states that the woman killed her son and herself in order to haunt any future occupants of the house. The Warrens' investigation took place in 1974 when they made repeated visits to the property in order to investigate reports of a male violent entity capable of lifting beds whilst also filling the air with the reek of rotten flesh. This particular was, of course, the basis of the titular first film in the series, The Conjuring. While Ed Warren had already passed away during the production of the movie, Lorraine Warren served as a consultant on the project. Of that long ago investigation, she admitted, the things that went on there were just so incredibly frightening. It still affects me to talk about today. I don't know about you guys, I'm actually getting goosebumps here. And we're going to talk about Annabelle, guys. A case that needs absolutely no introduction as it began a line of spin-offs set within the Conjuring universe. Not quite the creepy looking doll this depict, dep- depicted in the movies. Man, I cannot read stuff today. The real life Annabelle was a fairly regular looking Raggedy Ann doll. However, this doll was said to be haunted. Which that is true, guys. If not, go on YouTube. Otherwise, I'll put it on a link in the description down below. I'll post it the link. So and there's a video of like a documentary of a real life Annabelle doll. So the Warrens, I think it was Ed and the other person, Lorraine Warren. I think they were the investigators, and they investigate. Oh, I can't remember what. I think it was them, or was it someone else? I think it was someone else. Investigating the Lorraine Warrens. Like a wee, I don't know, like a wee small house. Which I don't know how to call it. And inside the house, it was like hunting stuff, like haunted stuff. So every time they had to go in, all the time they had to, bring a priest in and bless the place, so nothing bad can actually go on. So in that place was the actual Annabelle doll, not the one you see in the movie. It's the one in real life is actually haunted. Entirely given to a student nurse in 1970 as a gift, the doll apparently began behaving strangely. A psychic medium informed the student nurse that a doll was haunted by the spirit of a girl named where was it? Spirit game named Annabelle. Despite the best efforts of the student and her roommate to accept and even care for the ugly haunted doll, Annabelle would repeatedly exhibit displays of malicious and frightening behavior. The Warrens were called in to investigate the doll after the investigation had concluded. The Warrens declared the doll to be demonically possessed and moved it to a secure place at their own museum in Monroe. A brief rumor surfaced in 2020 claimed that Annabelle had somehow escaped from its enclosure at the Warren Museum. Although it must be noted that the rumors were quickly quashed, Annabelle remains safely secured inside her enclosure. And that's kind of I'm actually getting goosebumps here, guys. I don't know about you. Now we're going to read the Sned the Snedeker House. A former funeral home, the Warrens arrived in 1986 to conduct their investigation. The owners of the home had claimed that their son was suffering from violent personality changes as a result of demonic presence in the house. The veracity of these claims must however be called into question. When taken into consideration the reported possibility that the son was suffering from schizophrenia. I think that is. Furthermore, other investigations found the case to be a particularly taxing one. Horror writer Ray Garton wrote his own account of Aled hunting in a dark place, the story of a true hunting, 1992. In this non-fiction novel, co-written writing with Ed Warren, Lorraine Warren, Al Snedeker, and Carmen Snedeker, Garton spoke of his frustration in trying to piece the true story together. Said Garton, the family involved, which was going through some serious problems like alcoholism and drug addiction, could not keep the story straight, and I became very, very frustrated. It's hard to have written a non-fiction book when all the people involved are telling you different stories of Lorraine Warren, and Garton was quoted as saying, "If she told me this song would come up tomorrow morning, I'd get a second opinion." The phenomena at the house has been documented across a series of media, including the 2009 feature film "The Haunting in Connecticut." Is that what it's called? The Haunting in Connecticut. Yeah, this is a long story, guys. So it's actually quite interesting because some stories are actually real outside, and it does tell us the differences as well from inside and outside, like from the movie and real life. So this story is called Amityville. Another case that requires absolutely no introduction at all. Uh, He Amityville Horror, as it became known, became such a multi-million-dollar franchise in its own right. You could be forgiven for thinking that the films were their own brand of fiction. However, this is also probably the most high-profile of the cases investigated by the Warrens. Paranormal events in the home of George and Kathy Lutz apparently culminated with their fleeing their Long Island home in 1975. A year prior to the arrival of George and Kath to the house, it has been reported that Ronald Defoe Jr. had murdered all six of his family members with a firearm. The Warrens investigated the house at length and were confident enough with their findings to declare the house haunted. Further investigations have since, however, concluded that the alleged paranormal activity in the house was in all likelihood a hoax. The case was widely publicized enough in 1977 to warrant a book, The Amityville Horror, adapted into film adaptations of the same name in both 1979 and 2005. Interestingly, a lawyer, William Weber, stated that along with the occupants of the house and the author of the is that what it's called? The Amityville Horror J. Anson, they invented the horror story surrounding the house. Over many bottles of wine, The Conjuring 2 would be a retelling of Ed and Lauren's account of goings on during the Amityville Horror. Before I read the next one out, guys, I'm going to just quickly check if there's any. Oh, okay, so now I get it. So I've basically read the recaps of the franchise of the Conjuring. So this is the new one, The Devil Made Me Do It. So I haven't seen the movie, so if you guys seen it, do comment down below. How did you guys find it? Do you guys suggest me go and see it, or do you recommend it, to go see it? So it's called The Devil Made Me Do It. It is perhaps fitting to close out our list with the most recent entry into the Conjuring series. The trial of an Arne Shane Johnson in 1981 would become better known as the titular "The Devil Made Me Do It" case. For the American court system, this would mark the very first time that defendant defendant had claimed demonic possession at the central aspect of the defense. Johnson had been accused of killing his landlord, Alan Bono. Prior to this, the Warrens had been called in to investigate a demonic entity apparently possessing the younger brother of Johnson's fiancée. The Glatzel family had claimed that 11-year-old David Glatzel was possessed by a demon. Lorraine claimed that David Levitate ceased breathing for inexplicable periods of time, speak in foreign tongues, and even share preventive visions, including the future manslaughter committed by Johnson. The demon, upon being exorcised from David's body, actively took up resistance inside Arn Johnson, directly contributing to the manslaughter of landlord Alan Bono. Judge Robert Callahan would go on to reject defense lawyer Martin Manellis' plea of not guilty by virtue of precision defense, declaring it irrelative and units unscientific. The Conjuring, the Devil Made Me Do It, was released in, this is just a date, it was 26th of May 2021, in America on June 4th, 2021, as part of its plans for all 2021 releases in the United States. So guys, that's all basically the franchise, basically the whole franchise of The Conjuring. I think these are the recaps what happened in the series of The Conjuring universe. So that's me read out to you guys, The Conjuring franchise. But yeah, I actually got like goosebumps. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been a long video. Do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye, guys.